Okay, so today I'm going to show you how I tint my lashes. So I did like a shorter video on, I think, like TikTok last week or week before, but this is going to be a more in-depth tutorial. And as you can see, I have a lot of growth. It's just, I don't know what's going on because it usually lasts a little longer. But I think when I filmed it for social media, I probably was going fast and such, so I didn't leave it on as long as I usually do. So we're going to take the baby little cup, and I don't measure this out at all, and I probably should. So I squeeze a little bit of the mixture into there. Well, it's not a little bit, it's probably too much. And then I squeeze the dye into that as well. I'm going to mix it all up so it becomes completely mixed. Takes a little bit. Well, that's why this thing is also so good, because you can mix it up. This one is a Morphe M158, which is, you know, looks like a brow brush. But they're, you know, inexpensive. They're not super pricey, so I have a bunch of these. So I just grab these at like Ulta. But they also, I mean, everyone makes these kind of liner brushes, and not expensive ones you can find. So now it's kind of all mixed together, and I'm going to let this sit until it becomes dark. So it's completely, like scientifically all mixed. I don't know. And I just have like a towel here, and I just kind of wipe this off so that it's clean. Usually I'm in my bathroom with my sink and such, but for today I'm here. So you need Aquaphor or Vaseline, something to coat around your eye so that you don't get dye everywhere. If you do get dye around your eyes and such, it lasts like a day or so. It's not really that big of a deal. So while we're waiting for that to just mix together, I'm just going to place this around my eye. So I get my lid really well and then up into the crease area. And try not to get it on your lashes because it won't adhere as well. I'm not as concerned about my lower lashes, so if I get a little bit on there, it's fine. I just want to keep it as clean as I can. But I see I'm going right underneath. And my eye area is so dry that the dye kind of irritates, you know, my crow's feet area. So I make sure that this is coated pretty well. I just showered and, you know, washed my face and such, because you want to leave your lashes alone for 4 hours after this. You don't want to get them wet. But I haven't put any skincare on either, because once we take this off, you're just wiping around your face. So my eye area is pretty dry right now. Making some mess. But I suggest keeping a bunch of Q-tips around you as well, because if you do get any sort of dye like in the little inner corners, it's easy to just kind of wipe it away. So it's not super dark yet, so I'm going to wait a little bit until it does. Okay, it's probably been like 15 minutes, and see how it's much darker. So now we're going to paint it on. And I start with the top. Let's see, I'm going to keep you in focus. And I try to get very close to the lash line to start. Kind of paint it on to the base of the lash. Let's do the same with the other side. And take your time. I mean, I've done this for, I think, like 6 years now myself. So I'm pretty confident at this process of doing this on myself. So definitely take your time and test it out. Like, just do this part first before getting like underneath, and see if you have any burning, because you want to leave this on for at least 15 minutes after it's painted on your lashes. Okay, so I just did the top, and now I'm going to slowly get underneath. But again, take your time. Don't get too much on the brush at once. And I think I actually know why I like the cream better. I didn't think there was a difference, but I think there is that the liquid, I mean, after it sits for a bit, it doesn't stay as liquidy, but I feel that the cream doesn't run as much. Easier to control. Okay, so I, move my eyes around a bit, and I don't have any burning yet. And this is very weird for me, because usually I'm like in the mirror really close. I'm trying to stay in focus so that you guys can see. Okay, just grabbed a mirror so I can get a little closer. Maybe you can see what I'm doing. So now I'm slowly just getting in as close as I can with not irritating my eyes. Because I want the whole lash to be dark, right? We want to get as much tint on every single lash as we can before we burn ourselves. That's no fun. I mean, it goes away and such, but it's just no fun. So now let's do the bottom lashes, and I just do little strokes. I also kind of go back and forth, but I have really long lower lashes, so I can kind of sit like this. But I've noticed that the parts where I usually have the most burning, or where the dye gets in my eye the most, is right in these little corners, so here and here. So I kind of try to not get anything super close, even though I want it like extremely close down here. But I just pile on the dye. Okay, so I think they're pretty well coated. No burning at the moment. I mean, there's certain areas I can get closer for sure. And I just build for a bit, as I know that I'm not getting it in my eye. I just keep kind of going. And the hardest parts are definitely just these little corners. And that's where I want the most dye, or in my inner corners. Because it's always hard to kind of get makeup there and stay. And as you can see, I have a ton of product on my lids, but again, it'll be fine. Doesn't last long, and I put a good amount of Aquaphor. Should be fine. Okay, now I'm going to keep this on for as long as I can, at least 15 minutes. So I will be back to remove it with you. Okay, it's been like 20 minutes, maybe a little longer. So as you can see, it turned much darker as it sits. And so now we're gonna take it off. Usually I'm at my sink, so I filled up this bowl of water. And I use the premium cotton ovals from Target. Ulta makes them too, but I always have these. I need a few of them actually, because we want to make sure that we get all the dye off, and we want to be really careful. So I start with 2, and then I'm going to dip them into the water. Usually it's, the sink. And I'm going to start with the bottom lashes, and I just kind of place it and drag, because I want to get all the bottom off first. Perfect. As you can see, I kind of make like a little taco. And do the same thing on this side. And we're good so far. No burning. Now we're going to take 2 more. Get them wet. Squeeze it out a little bit. Same thing, little tacos. And I'm going to sit down here and then close my eyes on it. So I'm going to just squeeze, and I kind of shimmy up to get as much of the dye off as I can. And so far we're good. And I kind of use the other side, and I'm going to just do the same and kind of squeeze the water and lift up. So far I'm good. There's still a little bit on there. You want to make sure that these are clean by the time you're done. There's no dye. So we do it again. Dip in the water. And then I kind of shimmy. See how there's still a little bit on there? So now you can kind of be a little bit more aggressive because there's not really anything on the lashes anymore, so you're not really going to hurt yourself. And if you do, it's okay. Just make sure that you get a lot of these and have them on hand, make them wet, and just squeeze the water in them. So I'm just going to make sure that everything is off. See? And we're clean. So all of that color that was on the lid, because we did the Aquaphor, it came right off. I actually did a really good job. I usually have purple all over my eyes, but I think because I wasn't as close to the mirror as I usually am, because I'm filming this way, that I didn't get as close as I usually do, but I got pretty close. You see how there's no more redness? And that blue, see, it's super dark. It doesn't even look like it's blue. I know you can get this at like a beauty supply. That's where I first found it. A woman was telling me about it. It wasn't a Planet Beauty, something like that in Orange County. And then I found it on Amazon, and that's where I always get it. So it's super easy. Just be very careful. Mine lasts like 2 weeks. I can go a little longer, but I just don't like to see any red. But now I'm not going to get them wet for 4 hours. And now I have dark lashes with my red hair and red brows. Just practice. It's, you're going to burn a little bit, but you're not going to hurt yourself. Just be careful. And yeah. So thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video and will try to tint your own lashes. Saved me a lot of money and time, and I'm so glad I taught myself how to do it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next week.